And that is the reason why I selected this topic, because I just thought that since karma is something that everybody gets attracted to because they know more and more about what is karma and what is not. So this perspective will also broaden our horizon and our outlook towards karma, because he has taken a perspective of an animal as well, what we do with the animals and what happens to them and what happens to us after that. So it is very much in sync and aligned with what Patriji has been saying, that vegetarian world, and he's been emphasizing on that Shakahar Jagat. So why it should be like that? Why? What is the karma has to do with it? So this is the today's topic, and it's going to be really interesting. And I'm grateful to each one of you who has joined, who has decided to join me today. And it's definitely going to give you a lot of different perspective on this word karma. Yeah, so should I start reading the article? I hope you're all ready. This topic is going to be interesting because we are going to discuss a lot, and I would request all of you to invoke the light beings, the angels, our Guru Padama Patriji, and the spirit guides, the animal spirit guides, and the angels, the guardian angels, the archangels, everyone. I would request all of you to invoke these energies with you, so that not only this session gives you not only the wisdom about so many things, but there should be some kind of a takeaway that the angels and the light beings will help you understand, because every person, they have or they get a different messages from the light beings while reading these articles, because this is what I get whenever I read a book, whenever I read an article. There's always something different that I understand from the articles and the books that are shared by different masters. So I'm going to read first. Please try to understand what the author or the writer is trying to say. And I'm pretty sure that you are going to love this topic. You're going to get a lot of information from this topic, because it's a very different perspective that Will Tuttle has shared. So I'm going to talk about Will Tuttle also, so that you know who he is. So Will M. Tuttle is an American writer, speaker, musician, educator, and author of the best-selling book, The World Peace Diet. Tuttle is a co-founder with Judy Carman of the Circle of Compassion and the Worldwide Prayer Circle for Animals. He has lectured through Unity Church and other New Thought and progressive centers throughout North America since the year 1990. He's a frequent speaker at vegetarian, spiritual, and animal rights conferences and at local vegetarian societies. So these excerpts that I'm going to read today is from his book, The World Peace Diet. So it has to do a lot with the karma. So please listen to this article with an open mind and an open heart. So be with me, be with the animal spirit guides, and be with the light beings who are there with you, and just help them give you and get you a message that your consciousness is ready to take. The most universal spiritual teaching, found cross-culturally in virtually all the world's religious traditions, is based on the truth of our interconnectedness. It is present both positively in what we refer to as the golden rule, to do unto others as we would have them to do unto us, and more neutrally as the law of cause and effect. That is, whatever we do unto others will rebound to us. Simply stated, we can never expect to be happy if we cause suffering to others, to be free if we confine others, to be healthy if we cause sickness in others, to be prosperous if we steal from others, or to have peace if we are violent to others and cause them to be afraid. As the Buddhists say, whatever seeds we plant and nurture through the actions of our body, speech, and mind will grow, and we will experience their fruits in our lives as abundance, joy, love, and inner peace, or anger, misery, pain, and lack. Blessed are the merciful, as the New Testament says. As we free others, we become free. As we love others, we are loved. As we encourage others, we are encouraged. As we bless others, we are blessed. As we bring joy and healing to others, we find joy and healing in our lives. Animals in the wild are never fat, but animals raised for food are severely confined, fed special diets, and given drugs and hormones in order to make them unnaturally fat. Obesity is a serious problem among human omnivores. We sow obesity in billions of chickens, turkeys, pigs, and cows, and we reap it in ourselves. In the wild, the animals we eat for food live in families and have complex, vital, and enriching social relationship with others in their herds, flocks, schools, and communities. In animal agriculture, all family ties are destroyed. Babies are quickly removed from their mothers, and each animal is seen as a separate unit of production. This is what we sow and what we reap in human culture. We can see everywhere the breakdown of the family. What we do to the animals, we do to ourselves. More than ever, families are breaking up. Parents are separating. Children are abandoned. And people feel the alienation of being alone. Female animals raised for food are pushed into unnaturally early pregnancies by administration of hormones, especially in egg, dairy, and pig operations, because it's cheaper than having to feed them until they naturally reach sexual maturity. They're only youngsters when they're forcibly impregnated on factory farms. This practice supplies an unnatural load of estrogen and other hormones in the cheese, milk, and other dairy products eaten by our children, pushing them, especially girls, into unnaturally early sexual development and pregnancy. This is a basic driving force behind the trauma of teen pregnancies and abortions. We pump huge quantities of drugs into billions of defenseless animals. We experience drug addiction, drug abuse, drug dependence, and all the horrors and traumas of side effects, numbing and the perils of living in a society increasingly drugged with both medical prescriptions and illicit substances. We force farmed animals to live in extremely polluted and toxic environments, to breathe air made noxious by the concentrated ammonia excrement of thousands of enclosed and overcrowded animals, to live in their own waste and eat contaminated feed. We find ourselves living increasingly in our own waste as our air becomes more polluted and our water and food are increasingly contaminated. We force animals to live in extremely stressful conditions. We find we are living in increasingly stressful conditions as well. We confine and imprison animals, and we find ourselves feeling more confined as social and economic pressure increases and we see our prison population exploding. We force ill health on animals raised for food by cramming them into toxic, stressful, and hopeless situations, and we find our disease rates increasing too. We force millions of factory farmed animals into insanity through the complete frustration. And we find human mental illness escalating. We terrorize millions of vulnerable and defenseless animals daily with painful shockings, beatings, brandings, debreakings, dehornings, castrations, ear notchings, nose bashings, and by forcing them to watch the killings of other animals before they are killed. And as we terrorize, so we increasingly fear the shadow of terrorism. And we pour billions of dollars into campaigns to prevent terrorism. We steal from and deceive animals on a massive scale. We steal their babies, their bodies, their milk, their eggs, their honey, and their lives. And we deceive them with baited hooks, lures, nets, slaughterhouse tunnels. And what do we find in our world? We find that we live in a society increasingly rife with deception and theft, where predatory capitalism and sophisticated advertising work together to create a climate that legitimizes deceit in the name of profit and fraudulent cunnings in the name of return on investment. We force food animals into cages, and we find more and more of us living in the gated communities behind bars and locks. Animals raised for food are often purposefully starved. Sometimes it's female chickens being starved as part of a forced mold to shock their bodies to begin another cycle of egg laying. And sometimes it's to save money on feed or just negligence. And we find in our world, we find our culture rife with anorexia, nervosas, people, mostly women, starving themselves, sometimes to death. And even with an overabundance of grain being grown, but fed to livestock for consumption by the wealthy, many thousands of poor people, mostly children, die every day of starvation. As we inflict disease on animals through the bizarre conditions we force upon them in factory farms, we find new and deadly diseases haunting and stalking us, like SARS and AIDS, mad cow disease, and a variety of aggressive influenzas, as well as drug-resistant strains of tuberculosis, strep, E. coli, and other debilitating pathogen-related ailments. This is not difficult to understand, but new diseases and ever larger intensive confinement factory farm operations both continue to proliferate with little public questioning because both are highly profitable. Sowing disease in defenseless animals, we can only reap the same for ourselves. As we kill young animals for food, we find child and teen suicide skyrocketing. As we purposefully enrage animals, as in rodeos, we find our own rage increasing. As we purposefully induce fear in them, as in laboratory experiments on fear, we find our own chronic fear increasing. As we force osteoporosis on them by pushing them to overproduce milk and eggs, we find ourselves suffering an epidemic of osteoporosis. As we force animals to be fat, diseased, overcrowded, anxious, and stressed, we become the same. As we feed them unnaturally processed, chemical-laden foods, we find our grocery stores filled with similarly toxic products posing as food. As we confine them to little boxes, we find ourselves confined in office cubicles of our own making. As we ignore animal suffering, we ignore each other's suffering. As we deny animals their dignity and privacy, we deny our own dignity and find our privacy being increasingly eroded. As we enforce powerlessness on them, we feel increasingly powerless. As we reduce them to mere commodities, we have become mere commodities ourselves. As we destroy their ability to fulfill their purpose, we lose track of our purpose. As we deny them rights, we lose our own rights. As we enslave them, we become slaves ourselves. And as we break their spirits, our own spirits are broken. As we sow, so shall we reap. So friends, this was the most powerful topic that I've ever come across in my so many years of reading books and reading articles. This was the most powerful article written by Bill Tuckey. Yes, as we sow, so shall we reap. Anything that anybody wants to say or to add, or maybe share your experience after listening to this wonderful topic? Is there anybody who wants to say anything? Madhavi, the name of the book is The World Peace Diet by Will Tuttle. So does anybody want to say anything or share anything? Yes, Shashank. Yes.
Yes, Sharuji. It's really powerful message and it connects on so many levels. It's just makes our heart a little bit
Yeah.
weep for all these creatures. And as a civilization, in which direction we are going through,
Yeah.
and this awareness among us is very important that we talk about this and bring these topics. And
Mm.
these are my thoughts. I mean, we can with these discussions and talking to others, we can bring some change among the communities, and that's how we'll go more in the direction of plant-based diets, and also develop the compassion that
Mm.
this is not the way. But of course, it has to really come from the grassroots, and it all starts with us. That's what I was
Absolutely.
thinking. Yeah. But thank you for sharing this very powerful and very heavy message, I would say.
Very
Yeah.
heavy, very heavy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sashank, when I was reading this, it was such a soul stirrer, and it was, tear jerker also, that I could never connect. Yeah, karma, I knew that, the choices that we make, it has an impact on not only on our lives, but on the other people's lives. But when he is talking in details that, when these animals are being confined, we are also being confined. When we are exploiting them, somebody is exploiting us here. When we are taking away their kids, so somebody is taking away our kids also, because now the kids do not stay with the parents. So somebody, because of some reasons, the kids are moving away. So it's like, a vicious cycle that is happening. And I did not I knew karma, what it was, and I had read so much about karma, and angels had given me so much details about karma. And yes, to an extent, I knew about animals a lot because I communicate with the animals and I knew lots and lots about the animals. But this perspective about karma, a very different perspective, was being given to me by this Will Tuttle. And I was amazed. I read this article 3 times and 4 times, and it had such powerful message, as you said, that, if we actually give this message to people that, hey, listen, what are you doing? Do you know how much impact it has on your karma as well? Probably it will bring some kind of an understanding to them. So yeah, it was literally a tearjerker article. For me, it was like, oh my God, this is what it is. Yeah. So yes, I'm thankful to Will Tuttle and Spiritual India who published this article. And today I'm sharing it with all of you. So thank you. Thank you, Sashank. Thank you so much.
Totally. Thank you, Sharuji.
G Swarna.
Thank you very much, Sharuji. Beautiful, beautiful message and very deep. Exactly, it connected everything that I never especially, analyzed that way. But, it has connected so much and it has brought new things to understand this vegetarianism. So that's why I think we have heard, as you said, right, all these diseases, corona, everything is coming because of we are doing karma, right? But this has teaching very clearly that why we are getting one after the other, why? Just we have to think, right? We say that, yeah, God is creating. Yes, they don't know who God is. We are the gods. So, they think, oh yeah, this something, it's a destruction happening. They just keep eating and they think that, yeah, now everything has time to collapse. That's what they bring that theory part, but they don't understand. They are the people part of it. We are the people to bring the change, you know. But that is the understanding we need to bring in. But yeah, it's eye opener for me. Wow, so beautiful. Sharuji, thank you
Yes.
so much as always. How deep
Yeah,
the
it's a
subject
very deep,
is.
it has really touched my heart. I mean, it has touched my core. That, especially, I was just thinking that how did he even understand, which we could not understand. Like he said that we confine these animals into little boxes, and what are we doing to ourselves? We are sitting in the office cubicles, small little cubicles, little boxes, and we have confined ourselves into those little rooms. This is karma. We are doing to them and they are
Exactly.
doing to us.
And
It is
miscarriages
coming back.
happens,
Yeah.
miscarriages also, it has very deep meaning. People doesn't understand why it is happening. They just cry and they go through different therapy and different medicines and all. But if they can come to the spirituality, I think they can make their life happier. So everything is connected with the spirituality and with the nature. So, and we are
Absolutely.
big part of the nature. As
Absolutely.
Patriji always
Absolutely.
say, we are the gods. So we never understood we are the god, but now it's really we are the god. We can bring the change.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Thank you, Swarnaji. Thank you. So I would just, share my experience with the angels, what they had told me about karma, so that, you get a little bit more of an understanding towards karma. So I was just sitting with them, and I was having a mere conversation with them. And I just asked that we always talk about right decision, right choice, wrong choice. What exactly is the right choice? How do we define a right choice? Because what is right for me, for the other person, it might be wrong. And what the other person is doing, it might be wrong for me, but that can be right for that person. And how do we make such choices which can help us create, or sow the seeds of good karma, or not good, but the positive karma. So there were few lines that were being shared to me by the angels when they were saying. So they said that there is a distinction in that. One distinction is that any decision, any choice that you're making, if that choice that you're making is leading to peace, joy, or contentment for you, then that is right. Suppose you have made a choice in your life, then you start looking at the choice and see that is that choice that you have made is making you insecure, anxious, jealous, unsettled, or restless? If you are honest with yourself, and if you're getting the answer that the choices that you're making is either making you insecure or anxious or jealous or unsettled, then this is not the right choice that you have made. There is only two things that the angels told me. The karma that you are going to make is either coming from your heartful or heartfelt intelligence, or it is coming from your conditioned self. If it comes from your core, that is from your heart, that is from your center, which Patriji always says, heart is what? It is the center of your body. It is your center. And if it is balanced, and if any kind of a decision that you're making or choice that you're making, it's coming from your heart, from your center, that is the choice. That is the karma, which is not only going to be a positive one for you, but for the entire universe. Because usually, generally, what we do is we try to create choices or make choices that are coming from our conditioned self. Conditioned self, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about that we have gotten used to of the conditions that have been, the mind that has been conditioned by a society, by our parents, by our educators, by our teachers, by so many other people. And whenever the decision or the choice that we are making, it is coming from the conditioned centers, it might feel comfortable to us at that very moment. But in the long run, it's going to be a wrong choice. So we have to remember that we have to be very conscious of our choices. We have to be very wise in our choices, because this is something that we have gotten, this is, you can say, a leverage, that this is something that will help us liberate ourselves. This is not the choice that is being given to the animal kingdom or the plant kingdom, but we are fortunate enough that we have been given this, choice of making choices. So let's choose wisely, so that not only the human kingdom, but the animal kingdom and the plant world is also very happy with our choices. The nature is happy with our choices. Mother Earth is happy with our choices. So this is what the angels told me when I had talked to the angels about how to make the right choice, which will bring goodness in the entire world. So yeah, I just wanted to share that experience of mine with the angels. Yeah. So anything anybody wants to say or share? Yes,
I would like
Madhuri,
to.
yes.
I would like to. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
yes.
Charu. I mean, the body was getting goosebumps when you were reading it, because I closed my eyes to listen what you're exactly saying. Oh my God, it's so much. It's very heavy, like as Shashank Master said just now. It's very heavy and it's very, yeah, heart touching. And the words which they have used it, I never heard them before actually. Also the chemicals, also those how the female chickens were forced, and this is, though even though I'm a biological student, but still I I never had that opportunity or the chance to read such kind of article. Or this is really got my goosebumps over my body, really. But I would like to share one thing from my side, because I was a non-veg eater. Basically, I because from childhood I was not eating, but later on, because I'm an enemy person, like anemic person, because I lack blood and also I lack iron and everything. I don't say that I don't blame also that my family, but they, because they are non-veg eaters. Like even today, all my family they eat, not my in-laws, but my parents aside, and they just nourished me with the all the things. But I also loved my pets because I had 13 to 14 kinds of pets, and but you know the bond between those pets and also having the as a meal, just imagine how much I might have gone through that. I was a very really good and brilliant student, but at the same time a nice person too. But at the same time, I'm going through so many difficulties, because I lost my father, and I I mean, none of the relatives have really helped us. I mean, all those sort of things, which is like, as you said that, because it's going hand in hand actually. And to be frank, after reaching to my 40 or maybe 36 or 37, I started not able to get the sleep anymore. Really, then nobody told me that, man, we just try not to eat, or like these kind of articles or something where I can try my myself, but I couldn't do that because I never had that. Because non-veg is something everybody is fancy about, and when you invite the people, then it is the whole meal is non-veg. If not, then only dal roti. Then they say that it's something not really a good way of serving to the guest as well. And that fancy thing has happened such a way, I couldn't stop it, or I nobody told me. But slowly my body was trying to react. Like that means, first my sleep was affected a lot. I could not sleep properly. And then I thought that it is all because of my stress, because I work in the IT field, and like I do the projects and all. I thought that way, but that was not the root cause. Yeah. And then I try to search what it is actually. Why is this sleepless nights? Because I don't know, some or the other way, this is something is going on saying me, stop, Madhavi, stop. But what? I don't know. But then slowly I have some, like I do a lot of pujas and all. Some time periods I stop while doing that puja, or that like 10 days or 11 days. I try to, then I was feeling very happy. Like, come on, like these 10 days, 11 days, what was that? I did it. And then continuously I stopped it. When somebody forces, not forces, but if somebody blindfold my eyes and then they give me the food and they ask me to eat, I'll eat, but immediately you can see the reaction. Either it'll come out of the mouth, or it will get the reaction of whole body. You can see that either it is getting allergic, or either it is getting like goosebumps, or something is going on. You can just experiment myself. The body became like that. Really, I feel so thankful to all my masters or gods, whoever that enforced me to do that, like by myself. Then later on, I understood this journey and I completely stopped it. And now I sit in meditation and I tell each and every animal, the soul, to forgive me for doing that mistake unknowingly, because we do the mistakes only unknowingly. And I keep getting all the dreams now, that how freely they have gone. Like they were sometimes chickens without heads, and they come and talk to me saying that, look at the people, how they are treating us. They don't even kill us properly. They are just off boiling, and then they're putting on a dishes and everything. Oh my God, looking at those scary dreams and those scary things, it was like a complete nightmares for us. I mean, at least for me. I've experienced that. Every each single night, it was like a nightmare. Oh God, I was thinking, what is this going on? Somebody tell me what it is going on. But now with the meditation and everything, I understood the whole concept of karmas and whole concept of what we have done and whole concept of what we are dealing with the all around. We don't even care about those little creatures also. Now I don't even kill those little creatures anymore. Even the flies, or even the in the spiders, I don't kill anymore. Like I'll just take them in the tray and then push it in the gardens, because I've seen them, like how drastically they are craving for their lives. Actually, they all are souls. Actually, really,
True.
that is. Or, I mean, meditation also taught me how beautiful that you can forgive or realize yourself, at least onto this day, and come out of all those karmas. It's really, really beautiful journey, actually. And thank
Yes.
you so much for this article. It made my day, I would say. That
Thank you.
how nicely you could say that. But now I'm not getting that to say, because I have to also start talking that way, but I cannot talk because I have so many friends and so many things. I can't even say a single word. Really, I did not come up with that level, actually. Maybe one day I'll come. Let's see. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for the article. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhvi. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for sharing so much today, your experiences. So yeah, it happens. It happens, friends. And even I was a non-vegetarian. I didn't know anything about it, that what happens, because belonging to a Kashmiri family, it was a tradition in my household to, cook all these things. But as soon as the one step that I kept in meditation, and that was the day when something happened, something changed the first day itself, that no, I don't have to do this. And then not only me, but everybody in my family also agreed to do the same, and I was really grateful that they were in this journey with me together, that it's okay, you want to be a vegetarian, we will also be vegetarians. Even my little, the kids at that time, they were very small, so but they also decided to do the same. So yeah, things happen. So recently, I was just giving this clarity session to one of the persons, and during that clarity session, this person was suffering from a lot of you can say allergy from the milk and the dairy products. And when I requested the angels to peep into his past, so at that time I realized, when I saw that, it was like, this guy had, in few of the incarnations, he had slaughtered few animals, and because of that he was getting this problem in this incarnation. And then the angels told me what he has to do in order to overcome this, balance out this karma. And then after, I think you can say, few months time, I mean, he's been meditating, and he's been doing a lot. He's finding a lot of change in his physical health. So yes, friends, lot of karma, because we come back with so many karmic memories. We come with it, and we have to be with that karmic content, because it is there in our memory, and we can't run away from them. We cannot run away from it, no matter how much we want to run away. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. So it is not a reward or a punishment that is being given to us by the universe. It is something that we sow the seed of, and we get. What sort of a plant are we getting? What sort of a plant are we sowing? It's absolutely up to us. So friends, yes, this was something that I would request all of you to read this article or listen to this article again. And if you can share this article with people, maybe share this video or audio to other people, so that it reaches as many as it can, because this is the most powerful article I've ever read about karma. So yes, anybody else before we start meditating? Is there anyone who wants to say anything?
Hey, Sharoo.
Hi, Mez. How are you?
Yeah, I joined in a little late, but what I think I understood what you're saying. But I have a question. Like in my family, I do cook, but I don't eat, and they don't want to understand that it's not okay to eat, or because they eat since childhood. So how to take care in that kind of situation then?
Mez, we are only responsible for our life. We cannot change anybody else. Yes, we can just guide them once or twice. We can try to tell them that this is the repercussion of what they are doing. but then we have to leave it on them. We can't force or pressurize them. So there are people who also cook. They don't eat, they cook. They have to cook, but because their husband, otherwise the husband, does the you can say verbal abuse or physical abuse. So they eat, they cook. But then they are meditators. They are meditating also. So they just say that I always keep asking for forgiveness whenever I'm cooking that, because I know that it is not my intention. I'm cooking because I'm being forced to cook. So there are different aspects to it. The only thing is that we cannot just tell or force anybody else, because it's the journey of the soul, different souls, and we can't interfere into their learnings. So probably they are going to learn in a hard way. Maybe in the near future, they will learn the hard way. So you can just tell them that please don't do this, because this is what the repercussion would be. And if they still do not understand that, then you have to leave it, because it is your responsibility to look after your karmas, not the other people's karmas.
Okay, so just asking forgiveness would take care of myself.
Yes, to yourself. Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yes. So,
And Sharoo, could you
else?
please share the article in the group to read if possible?
Yes, I will share it. I'll share it.
Thank you so much.
Yes, anybody else? So, okay, so people who are in the YouTube, we are going now, we are logging out from there, and whosoever wants to join the meditation session, they can join our Zoom link. They can come here with us so that they can continue with the meditation here in the group. So Shashank, can we just